popular by choice. Today's video is all about neighbors. Now, a good neighbor can make life easier, right? While bad neighbors can turn a peaceful home into like a war zone, or just pure frustrations when you try to come home daily from work or whatnot. So, and what comprises a good neighbor? Someone that's trustworthy, respectful, probably, considerate, friendly, cares about the community, their community, or they're oriented with the well-being of the community. And a bad neighbor, well, we know what they're comprised of. Noisy, disruptive, uncooperative, gossipy, nosy, loud, all of the above. So I'm fortunate that I have had really cool neighbors around me, so I haven't had any major issues, but that does not mean that they don't exist. So how does the word of God align with our neighbors and the people that are living around us? And what is it that the Most High expects from us? Like, how are we expected to behave with the people that we live around? So plenty of scriptures to go with this theme. I chose today Proverbs 3:29. Do not plot harm against your neighbor who trustingly lives near you. And there'll be a wrap up afterwards. And then of course we have Luke 10:27. This is the end of that scripture. Love your neighbor as yourself. It is the second greatest command, according to Jesus. We are to love our neighbors the same way that we love ourselves, but not before, loving, trusting God with all of our heart, minds, and souls. But let's go ahead. We'll do the wrap up after the reaction. Let's get into the video. Thanks, guys, for coming by. So glad that you're here.
Understood. We had an agreement, sir. We had an agreement.
Emery, stop it! Stop it.
You're being recorded, ma'am.
I don't give a shit.
Well, you're being recorded. You're disturbing the property.
I did not tell you to do
That's...
Anne-Marie?
this. I did not tell you to do this. My yard. I'm appealing to common sense. Get over it.
I'm appealing. Common sense ain't appealing back.
I can't believe that this shit was done. I can't either, but he said that I approved it. No, you didn't approve it. You didn't approve it. I told them that nobody touched my damn fence. You didn't approve it. Get in here. I told them not to touch my damn fence.
You need to call, I don't know. She's tearing the fence down.
I want to know who approved it. I don't care. You want me to peel my pants up and show my ass for? What is happening?
She's tearing the fence down. She's been tearing the fence down.
Back up here. Why? Because I liked it. Because it was mine. It's wrong. I don't give a shit. I'll fix it when I'm ready to fix it. I'm going to try and talk some sense into this thing. I told him the other day to leave my damn fence alone. The other day.
Who he calling a thing?
Do not do that. Leave that up there.
No, sir, that's not
No, do not do that.
What happened? We
I
got
had two other
permission from the HOA.
Out there. Permission from who?
We got permission from the HOA, from
Who the hell are
Nancy.
they?
From Nancy.
She's the vice president of the HOA.
Nobody pays attention to you.
Oh, well, okay. Okay, well, give me the name of the president of the HOA. We don't have a
Nancy.
president. He died.
Nancy.
How about that?
Call Nancy.
She's destroying the
Nancy
property.
approved it?
Or
Nancy who?
she was destroying.
Call Nancy. I don't know her last name.
Well, she knows who Nancy is. Nancy didn't tell her anything about this.
Your fence
Come on,
is
let's see
your
reasonable.
fence is
Listen.
3 inches into my property line. We're paying for all of this. For your fucking dogs to
fucking thing to you.
your fucking dogs.
I'm not quite sure how I'm feeling about any of this.
In
My
my opinion,
goodness.
I prefer a noisy neighbor. I like it when my neighbor makes a lot of noise, they play loud music, their kids scream and run around, because I feel like that also gives me the power to play my loud music, have my friends going crazy, do whatever I want to do. I much prefer an environment where everybody is taking up space in the soundscape, and so no one person has to feel like affronted by that. Like, it's not like, oh, it's quiet, and then if you're being loud, then you're like ruining other people's vibe, and vice versa. I can wake up and practice my instruments and play loud music and have my friends over. You can be having your loudspeaker going, and sometimes I'm being quiet, but you know what? I'm catching your vibe as well. Like, I hear the music coming from your apartment. I like that it's a little bit further away, and I just think that's a better living situation than everybody being super quiet.
Hey, if you can find a whole building that'll do that, go for it.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm ain't there. You know what is there though? My cool ass neighbor over there. I'm just letting you know, they are so cool. Get you a cool neighbor, because I am a single mother struggling a whole lot. I have fatigue as a cancer survivor, and I'm just trying to make it over here. And my fence was fluffed up for several days, and I put it up myself. I put it up again myself. I put it up again myself. My body hurts, and I came home the other day from a stroll with my little one and my dog for a walk, and my neighbor was over there pounding nails into that one little piece that was down and fixing it. Like, man, like, we're in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood over here, right? Like, Lady Elaine and like Mr. Tiger or whatever Daniel's name is and everything, and he's over here being all Fred Rogers like. And I'm just like, there is so much good in the world. We just have to open up our eyes and make sure that we acknowledge it and see it.
She was fun. I like her.
My neighbor down the street must have really wanted to meet me at 11 o'clock at night.
Ian,
Hey, what's going on?
I'm your neighbor. Open your door, brother.
I'm not home. I'll be home in like 10 minutes.
Oh, who's all these cars out front? I thought you were home.
Oh yeah, I have people that are with me right now, but I'll be home in like 10 minutes.
Yo, brother, I'm bringing a bottle of whiskey over. We're gonna figure this out, right?
Right.
Where you at?
I'm at the grocery store.
Get home, brother.
All right,
We're gonna drink this stuff.
I'll be home soon.
We're drinking.
Right.
All right. I'll see you in a few minutes, right?
All right. See
He might.
All right. See you then.
He might be a bottle ahead. I don't know. We gonna drink this, brother.
Going through my Ring camera and found this act of random kindness.
I don't feel sorry for the cat because it didn't have no business running out there.
Take a moment to breathe. I don't want you to leave me. I can't lie, sometimes I wish I caught you.
I mean, I'm happy that the cat got back in and all, but I'm not a cat person. They are rude, inconsiderate, disrespectful. That's in my opinion. I have dogs.
We about to go ahead and jump into this clip.
Hi, mate. You okay?
Yeah. Is everything all right?
Yeah, I was just wondering if I could just nip in and have a quick shower. I've just run out of hot water. Yeah?
Hot water?
Oh, wait, hang on. You wanna use my shower, you said?
Yeah, I've run out of hot water.
And take a cold one.
Funny, you just want to come and use my shower, I don't, I'm kind of confused there. Help me connect the dots.
She's like,
what the problem is.
Don't you see
I've
the
asked you,
dots?
I've asked you quite nicely. I need to use your shower.
You using my shower is me doing you a favor, correct? Yeah. How about this?
Okay.
Maybe you come back later or stay around. Maybe we can get a drink together or something. Maybe stay around for a drink, have a chat.
Stay around for a drink.
Yeah, just one or two.
What?
Something tells me she's not used to the power of that tube top working for her this time. She was really shocked. What do you mean? Like, let me in. I need to use your shower. I ran out of hot water. No, girlfriend. Why she gotta walk stiff leg, though?
Shut up! Shut up!
Oh. Keep your tooth in.
Shut the fuck up!
I don't know what I would have done in any of those situations. I don't know, man. Apartment living is crazy because, man, you can come across some doozies.
Are you one of the many people suffering from nuisance neighbours? Maybe you're dealing with loud music at all hours of the night, horrible smells, or a neighbour's pet that just causes chaos. Well, as always, I'm here as your personal pocket-sized lawyer to explain your legal rights and what steps you can take so you can start enjoying the privacy of your home again. Firstly, what is a nuisance from a legal perspective? Well, a nuisance is anything that interferes with your ability to enjoy your home. This could be excessive noise, foul and persistent odours, or even a neighbour's pet barking. But remember, it has to be persistent and unreasonable. Those are the key words here. A little noise here and there, not a nuisance. Constant disruptions to your enjoyment of privacy, different story. So what can you do about it? As always, here is the best step-by-step procedure. Step 1, start by talking to your neighbour. It sounds simple, but sometimes people don't even realise they're being disruptive or that they're being noisy. Approach them calmly and you may be surprised. Step 2, check your local laws. Another word for these local laws are ordinances. Each city council has their own rules about pets, etc. You can find these on your city council's website or by calling the local authorities. If your neighbour is violating those ordinances, tell them. Step 3, if talking doesn't work, you can file a complaint with your local authorities. To file a complaint, this will depend on what you are complaining about. For example, call the non-emergency police line for noise issues. Call the city's environmental department for odours and bad smells, or call the animal control for pet problems. Next step applies if you are a leaseholder in a leasehold flat with other communal leaseholders. If this is you, check your lease document. You will likely have specific clauses designed for those situations that you can rely on. Most leases have a nuisance clause or clauses about noise under the quiet enjoyment section, and there will likely be a pets clause too that impose strict conditions on pet ownership in leasehold buildings. Contact your freeholder or managing agent if your neighbour is breaking those terms. They are required to help enforce those rules. Now, if they don't or none of the above works, you can take legal action as step 5, like applying for an injunction or going to a tribunal. For tips on the process of taking legal action, including how to gather your evidence, as well as full explanations on all of the above steps, including some essential tips and warnings, I would strongly encourage you to visit the video on my linked YouTube channel below, Better Call Cal. I'll see you over there.
That seems like so excessive for it to get to that point. Like, can we all just get along? That's me. Oh, shovel. Not okay.
I hereby sentence you to 2,500 consecutive life.
Okay, wait, guys. Now, I know, I'm sure that a lot of you, most of you, maybe even all of you have already seen this clip. I know it's been in there for a while, but I included this into the neighbor clip for the simple fact that this guy right here This dude right here is the reason that you don't just go off and act crazy with just anybody. He could be your neighbor. This dude could have been living next door to you, and you go off over something. Yeah, peep game.
Sentences plus 1,000 years. Once you pass away, you will receive an attempted escape charge with an additional 200 years being added to your sentence, which you will begin serving in the afterlife once you get to hell.
Look at this, look at this, look at the guard, look at the guard.
Should you be reincarnated after your death and return to Earth as another person, you will be arrested
laughing at
Earth and you will spend your entire next life in the state penitentiary.
That ain't funny, that's somebody, baby. I did not think a judge could even do that, but apparently he can.
Plans to cover and to see what they do next. We purchased this house back in October of 2021. It all started because of a cat issue. Apparently they were losing cats. They said that we have been inside their property. Then the next thing that they did, put cameras, about 4 or 5 of them. There's a camera right here. This stick right here, it's a huge camera. There's another one right here. We also get free light. That's a light that they turn on. It's a little bit wet right here. Well,
the lights
they
would
also
mysteriously vanish.
We actually had to do this little pathway for the water to go. I don't know if you can see the water. And it goes all the way down there. I have these lovely neighbors that devote their time choosing songs. My kids constantly have to be hearing this and this is every single day. So the plans to cover and to see what they do next. So
they don't want them there.
But my husband did also raise the laminated sheet. Just to clarify, I'm not doing this on purpose. I'm actually tired of law enforcement not being able to do anything.
I hear some chickens or some roosters. They probably just don't want nobody on the property with them, or who knows? Who knows?
Honestly, if you know your kids like to act like they in WrestleMania, or they like to jump and they just like to jump, run, drag things across the floor, especially at 12 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, you're not telling your kids to sit down. Do not move on high floors. Y'all should be very considerate of the people that live in an apartment building. If your kids do that, and you know you're going to let your kids run around, be loud, do all of that, y'all should move to the first floor where there's nobody above y'all.
It is kind of common courtesy. Otherwise, you know what Cal said.
I don't like my neighbour because she's inconsiderate. Why is my girl going to move in at 10:30 at night and start drilling? Who does that? This brings me back to the time when I was little, yeah, and we had the upstairs people move in and blaring music at 11 p.m. at night. So yeah, chick, I'm going to be triggered. Every time I see your ass, I'm going to have a screw face. First impressions always count with me. No better make sure my actions don't move past his face. Why you got your man drilling holes? Shouldn't you lot be blessing the house and he should be drilling other holes? But instead you're telling me, oh, why are you trying to run the block? I swear I'm cursed. Because ain't no way she don't understand. Run the block at my big age. How can I run these elderly motherfuckers? Am I in school?
Run the block at this big age.
So this guy tried to get revenge on his neighbor by cutting his tree in half, and you won't believe what happened. He'd lived next to this tree for over 20 years without a problem, but one spring, birds started nesting in it and pooping all over his car. He asked his neighbor to cut it down. They said no. So naturally, he grabbed a saw and sliced the tree right down the middle, perfectly half, like a tree in a cartoon. At first, he thought he'd won. No more birds. But then people started walking by, pointing, laughing, and snapping photos. Then it hit the internet. Half Tree of Doom went viral overnight. Local influencers showed up, tourists too. Reporters started knocking on doors. The street turned into a literal photo op. And the tree, it got a Google Maps listing with reviews, like actual reviews. The neighbor who owned the tree was fed up until he checked his property value. It had skyrocketed. Turns out, owning half a viral tree makes your house worth more. He sold it and moved out with a huge profit. The revenge guy, still stuck with half a tree, random strangers outside every day, and no way to sell. And the cherry on top, the birds kept pooping. It was never the tree. It was the color of his car that attracted them.
You know, he feeling crunchy.
Come here and bother us, and then when we press charges on you guys want to act all different. So don't. Because I'm not gonna accept anyone, not you, not them, not anyone.
Okay.
Anyone coming here and being rude.
I'll see your little baby walking with the other lady. Got it.
What are you trying to
You
say?
see what?
You trying to say that you're gonna do something to my son? Hey.
I'd have been like, cut the camera.
You just said that you're gonna do something to my little son?
You don't need my name.
You just said that you just threatened my son. You just threatened my son. You said, I'll see her whenever she's with your son, right? I'm gonna call the cops. Llámale la policía. She just threatened my son right now. I'm gonna press charges on her because she shouldn't be doing that.
Like I said, cut the camera. About to get really real. Oh, well, it looks like we have come. What a fitting way to end with me angry at that girl. You don't threaten somebody's child. That's the one thing you can guarantee. Somebody just might lose the Jesus in them, because if you threaten a child, hey, to my face, we're going to have a conversation. So anyway, I'm sorry, I'm back, guys. So that does conclude the video portion of Neighbors, Good Neighbors, Bad Neighbors. Judge yourself accordingly. What type of neighbor are you? Now, the scriptures that we went over, Proverbs and Luke, real simple. The takeaways from them: don't plot against your neighbor. It means being a good neighbor. Just means treating each other with the same care, consideration that you would want for yourself. You know, how we were taught when we were raised, treat others the way you want to be treated. If it were that simple and that easy, this world would be a much better, nicer place. But apparently it's not. Luke 27. My reflection on that is a good neighbor isn't just someone who avoids doing bad things, but they're an active contributor to someone. It's about fostering like trust and goodwill, and remembering that above all, we are commanded to love. 1 Peter 4:8. Love them anyway. Okay, so what are some tips that we can bring to the table just to kind of help navigate these muddy neighborhood waters? Like I said, I'm fortunate that we have some really cool neighbors. So we don't have any issues, but everyone's not so lucky. So you want to be kind, right? You want to start with kindness. Sometimes it's just simple hello is enough to establish a decent enough rapport to where they're like, okay. We don't got to go out for brunch, but we know that we can be cordial and respectful of one another. Establish boundaries quickly. If there's an issue, if there's something that you just aren't feeling, don't leave notes. Don't go run into the HOA people or whoever. Have a direct conversation with them. At least attempt to. Because like the attorney said, if you'd be surprised at how many people they don't even try, they don't even go that route. They just immediately go from 0 to 90. And now something that could have been resolved with a simple, oh, hey, handshake is now going up the ladder to some ridiculousness. And ain't nobody got time for that. What are some other tips? Just mind your manners. If you have a neighbor that's really not into it, they just apparently, you've waved, you've spoke, you've invited them over for tea and crumpets and all that, and they're just not into it. Just respect that. Respect that. And that might be the best way to have a great relationship with that particular neighbor. So know when to call the authorities too. Don't be a police caller. Like every little thing they do, you call them police. Every little thing. Some leaves from her lawn blew into my driveway. I'm calling the police. You'd be surprised how petty people can be. So don't be petty. Inconvenient truth, guys, of the day for neighbors. What is an inconvenient truth here? Okay, I'll go. Some people just aren't friendly. It doesn't matter. Like I said, it doesn't matter what you do. They don't want no part of you. They don't want no part of being, friends, homies, community, guideliners. They just want to be left alone. You need to be able to read the room, recognize that, and leave those people be. That might be the best way. Neighbors here a lot more than what you probably realize, and be that whether it's just through neighborhood gossip or through the fence in the yard or just overhearing things. People are much more acutely aware than what we probably think because we're so caught up in our own stuff. But that's really, those are really just some very basic tips. Like, I think for me, I just try to get to know people. If they don't want to get to know you, well, then you know enough, right? So that concludes the video for today, guys. I hope that some of this information was helpful because I know that we've all had to deal with a neighbor, be it good or be it bad, at some point in time in our lives. Unless you just live out on a mountain, or but be good to one another because the one thing that is certain is time is ticking for all of us. Okay, so never forget that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. Thank you guys for being here. I'll see you on the next video. Y'all be good now. Why still here now?